you want to become a data scientist, now this is the roadmap or sort of skills that I recommend that you get in your journey becoming a data scientist, right? Look, data science requires you to be patient. Unfortunately, there's a lot of skills that you need to acquire in order for you to become a data scientist, right? So at the very bottom over here, you guys can see this is some sort of framework that I always build for you guys. So the bottom line, the very beginning here, you want to start with your data science fundamentals. So what are your data science fundamentals? This is you knowing what is data science, how is it applied in different industry, what is the benefit of this whole data science initiative, right? And also understanding the different types of machine learning models and stuff like that, understanding the difference between AI, machine learning and all of that, right? So you need to know some of these things theoretically before you get into building them. It really helps you when you start to apply, because it's very difficult for you to apply something if you don't theoretically have an understanding of it, right? So you want to start with that, right? So data science fundamentals, that's what you want to start with. Once you learn your data science fundamentals, I want you guys to pay attention to these two pillars here. Very, very important, right? So what makes data science is this, right? This is the means by which you apply data science and all of that, right? But what makes data science is mathematics. So for those that want to become data scientists and you do not like mathematics, unfortunately, you have to learn mathematics, right? But the amount of maths that you need to learn really depends on what kind of data scientist you want to become. If you want to become a data scientist that basically applies data science in solving business problems, you don't need to know a lot of mathematics, but a decent amount is still good, right? But if you want to be those research type of data scientists that are going to be discovering new algorithms and stuff like that, you really need to go deeper with this one, unfortunately, right? So things like linear algebra, calculus, statistics, probability, there's a lot that we can go into, but we're going to do a separate video going into detail on this one specifically, right? And on the programming side, right, you need to learn Python, you need to learn SQL, and then you need to learn R. I know some of my friends, they really love this programming language, but this is what I'll say, right? SQL, very important. Python, also very important, right? But this one, it will really depend. Some organizations would prefer to use R over Python, but majority of the data science community uses Python. So honestly, this one is really up to you on what you want to decide, but you need to still learn Python. But so Python, SQL, and R, those are the programming languages you need to look at, right? As you're learning these two pillars, what you're going to be doing is improving on this areas in here, right? So as a data scientist, you need to know how to clean data, transform data, and do data modeling. This is an important skill. Everything that a data analyst actually does, a data scientist can actually do, right? Data visualization. This helps you understand your data before you build machine learning models and stuff like that. So you as a data scientist need to be able to understand your data before you go to building machine learning models. So learn this as a starting point, data cleaning, transformation, data visualization. You could be using Python to do data visualization, could be using Power BI to do data visualization. It's really important to have data visualization skills, right? Once you've learned those, what I want you to then focus on is the machine learning side of things, right? You are now better at programming, you're now better at mathematics. The combination of these two to basically build models that predict future outcomes, this is where we get into machine learning, right? So you're going to start training your models with historical data, to predict certain outcomes, right? This is where you get into machine learning territory. So what I recommend here, right? There's different types of machine learning categories, right? You've got supervised machine learning, you've got unsupervised, you've got semi-supervised machine learning, then you've got reinforced machine learning. Now, what I want you to do, pick at least 2 different algorithms on here, learn how to build them and train them, do certain prediction. At least pick 2 from each of these categories so that you are familiar with the different machine learning algorithms that actually come from this. Now, in that stage, you're actually solving problems using those algorithms, because that's how most data scientists actually solve problems, right? Then the last part that you will focus on, this one really depends on the industry that you want to focus on, because data scientists need business knowledge, right? There's things like IFRS 9, there's so much opportunities in IFRS 9, like banking and stuff like that, insurance, risk management, marketing. There's different business knowledges that you need to understand as a data scientist, but this would really depend on the industry that you've got an interest in, right? Because this helps you become a really good data scientist and allows you to differentiate yourself from your peers. So in terms of what I'd recommend, this is the data science roadmap that I'd recommend that someone follows as they become a data scientist.